a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 48 of All Four Back. I am, of course, Chester 430, and I'm joined by Hadlington. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, good evening to Shads.
Good evening, Dan.
And
Good evening,
good evening
Had.
to Tank.
Good evening, Tank.
Good evening.
Good evening, all. How are we doing?
Cold.
Oof, it is a bit, isn't it? Just like it's that time of year again, isn't it, boys? It ain't that time of the year. So on tonight's program, we have a look back at the BLRC that took place. We also have the first of our two team reviews tonight, which is the Warriors and Panthers. We're going to start with the Warriors first. We also have a preview of the final round of the BGP and SCS over in Victorville, and some World Championship sign-up information. So something to look forward to towards the end of the show. But we're going to start off, first of all, with the British League Riders Championship review that took place, I believe, on Sunday at Ipswich. And this one, well, only one person could have won this, couldn't they? It was the man himself. I think he's won it 3 times now. The man himself, Stefan, taking the win.
Dan's done his research.
I looked at the post that was done.
I just fell off my chair.
Oh, brilliant! But Housing, I'm gonna bring you first if I can, mate. This meeting had the top riders from each club. There were a couple of late replacements that obviously took heed, but what a match this was.
Yeah, it was a good one. I think I do like this system as well, with the top 2 going to the final, and then 3rd to 6th being in the semi. I think that it's a bit more cutthroat, if you like. So yeah, it was really, really decent. Obviously, Stefan there won. Now the first person to win 3 times, only dropping that he got that 3rd place in his second ride when he was beaten by Ryan and Paris, I believe it was. But apart from that, he just reeled off wins in his other rides and took the title. Good showing from the Norse lads as well. Hats off to Max finishing 2nd and the Dretlocker as well in finishing 3rd. So yeah, it was a good night for the Norse as well as Stefan.
It was indeed. I mean, looking down the scores, you had a few, couple of non-finishes, quite a few low scorers for me. Obviously obviously because Sizzler only scored 8 points. Fakey as a number 1 for Norse only scored 7. Surprise for me though was Rider 12, Craig, only scoring 5 points. A former winner of this event, only scoring 5 points. Very surprised to see him struggle. Tank, I'm going to bring you in if I just for a split second. You were in this meeting. 7 points for yourself. No, it was good for yourself there. Scoring 7 points, just missing out on the semi-final.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, considering I did absolutely no training, I went into it with literally nothing. But then it kind of helps. I kind of knew the line, but yeah, I never expected to make the semi-final and the final. So it was a good meeting to obviously referee. That helped me find the line a bit more. But no, it was a good meeting, and Stefan obviously deserved it. And Brian, like he has in the Grand Prix, has pushed him all the way to the end. So.
And obviously surprise result for Max ST, obviously finishing the runner-up spot as well. Chaz, I just noticed you were in this match as well, mate. I'm afraid 5 points for yourself.
Yeah.
Just talk us through it. I mean, it wasn't your strongest of meetings against that such quality field, but to get the win in your last ride, I mean, not bad after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a funny race. That it was. I think two of them grasped, and I think locked the fence Dreadlock or fence,
Yeah, it was
and
Heat 19.
Craig went
Wolfie,
into
Craig, Dreadlock,
grass.
and Chads.
Wolfie didn't turn up for it. He quit the meeting before his last race. And I basically had the track to myself after Dreadlock the fence. I was going around mid track. I was just going around mid track to make sure I finished. So, on paper it looks like wow, but I beat Craig and Dreadlock. But
Yeah.
in reality, it was more like a solo training race.
Craig would have
I
got
just
a
Like
hoping
point
I
in that
wouldn't.
race
Yeah.
had he stayed. Had
But
Craig not
on
finished
that, I
further,
mean,
he
you
would
look
have
at you look
got
at
a point.
you look at the lineup. I think that lineup's probably as strong or stronger than most of the GP rounds this year.
Mm.
You take me and maybe Wolfie out. Maybe Wolfie now. Credit to Wolfie, he's had a 7-point average this year. But you look at that lineup. I mean, you got near enough the top 2 from every team, near enough top 3 at least. So yeah, it was a tough old night. You know, it made the difference was that just everyone's just so quick out the gate.
Yeah.
You end up chasing most of the time, and trying to pass these guys is for someone of my quality is next to impossible. You just want to finish the race and hopefully someone fences, and someone did, or 2 did. Before the meeting, I was looking to get at least a point. I didn't want to embarrass myself and get a 0. I don't think I've ever had a 0 in a meeting before ever. I think I've hit 1 that's my worst, but I thought I've got to get a point at least. And luckily, some people obliged by sticking themselves in the grass or the fence.
Yeah.
So thank you to those people.
But I guess the track. I guess the track was a bit of a leveler. Would you say, Shads? In that situation.
I think it's a couple of seasons ago. I think the Sculptors rode there. So Fizzler and Limo, I think would have known the track pretty well. It's not a track that's been used for a couple of seasons. I suppose. I mean, I only had a day's practice. I usually practice a week before a meeting, but I only knew I was going to be in on the day before because I offered it to Scotty, thinking what he'd been in the team all season. I'd only sort of come in for it halfway. I thought a bit of a fraud. No, he said no, you go for it. So I thought I've got nothing to lose. No one's expecting me to do anything. But the track, I quite like the track actually. I quite like the track. Just not very good on it.
Well,
not in this company anyway.
If I was the BLRC track in season 16, also says Powis.
I like that. I like that idea that Powis mentioned about once a track's chosen for one of these prestige competitions, that it's great. It's taken off the list for the next round for the next year.
Like a rotation sort of.
You don't get the same track like maybe once or twice. I mean, it could have come up. It could have come up the same track 2 years running. It could, with the draw.
Mm.
So it's nice to spread it around different tracks, different kinds of tracks. I think that's a fair suggestion.
Yeah. Sort of like on a rotation basis, so to speak.
Yeah, just take it off the list. It doesn't get chosen again. I mean, there's so many tracks to choose from. There's so many British tracks to choose from. There must be 30, at least 30 tracks.
Oh yeah.
If Saints had the same track like 2-3 years, once, twice out of sort of 3 or 4 week seasons, it'd be nice to have a bit of variety.
I mean, you could almost do it like split it into like regions and do like a region every year. Would that be something that potentially happen?
Just take the track out of the draw for the spinny wheel. It's been ridden on. Just take it out.
Scorcher's home track in season 17, if memory serves me correct, says Tank. So stop thinking, which. Oh, Scotty. Oh dear. Well, that was the BLRC review. Once again, congratulations to Steph on clinching that for the 3rd time. We're now going to switch gears and look at our first team review of the year. Obviously, as the weeks go on, we're going to have the progression of the teams how they performed this year. And first up will be the Rye House Warriors. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Shads and Tank to take us through the Warriors review.
Yeah, the Warriors. What can I say without upsetting Tank? I mean, I think the highlight for them would have been getting Craig at number 1 at the start of the season, and then that spectacular, unexpected win at Newcastle in October at the Piemin, which no one saw happening. Or I'm sure the Piemen didn't think that. I think they'd lost Richard by then, so maybe a little bit weakened. Warriors went there. I think they got heat that 5-1 in Heat 14. For me, that's one of the results of the season for me, as the Warriors were going previous to that. And then that win at Wolves when most of the team either weren't really trying or didn't really want to be there. But it seemed towards the end of the season. Still credit to them. They give them a good hiding. I thought that would have been good for morale. Finish the season off after a disappointing season for them after finishing champions last season. But only 2 riders came in from that last season's Warriors team, and one of them left after 2 meetings. Hank, what do you reckon? Next season, we're going to give it another go?
No, not going to be a captain next season. And up until probably about 3 weeks ago, I wasn't sure I'd be riding next season, but I'm more on the riding side. But as for being a captain, I won't be a captain next season, so the Warriors won't be returning.
Didn't you say that the previous season? But there was sort of captain, so you stepped in. Wasn't that what happened?
Yeah, if there's a shortage, I step in. But yeah, and if truth be told, I didn't really want to be one this season, but I did. But I always knew the end of this season that was it. So, but it's not quite been the season, obviously, that we wanted. But to at least get 2 wins was at least something to take from the season. I take the Pieman result away as the one that I'm more proud of, really, because it was a good meeting and it was pretty much tight throughout. So
yeah, and against a team that are actually trying.
Yeah, it was definitely more of a battle to actually get some points, and yeah, and when you know what you've gone through for that one, then you can, and after a bad season, you know which ones were better than others. So.
And I know you've had issues with practice. I think have a server for a while because your internet your laptop went put, didn't it? So you probably didn't practice as much as you should have done. I think it was the same issues we had at the Panthers with riders dropping out at the start of the season or mid-season. I think we went through 2 number 1s before Limo turned up, and I think you had issues with Badger leaving and GPR not practicing and then eventually leaving. So you just don't need that frustration, do you? I think a break could probably do you good. A break from captaincy anyway, not riding.
Yeah, no, it was difficult. The server side of it was, and I put my hands up, and I'm happy to do that publicly. That was my fault. Well, it was my fault in part, but not in another way. But then it came back randomly, and then obviously team issues were what they were. And I'm kind of used to that now. You just run with it. But you know, sometimes like a captaincy shelf life is usually about 2-3 seasons, and then someone wants a break from it, and then they come back. So I've lost how many times I've stepped away and then come back, but yeah.
I think it'd do you good just to concentrate on your racing and not have to worry about messaging people to see if they're riding or if they're available or whatever. And then you've got your number 1 turning up 5 minutes before a meeting. You know, you're going to be. I think you're going to be a new rider next year. I think you're probably going to put some points on that average.
I might do. I'd like to think so. I am disappointed with my scores this
Just make sure
season.
it's not a right house.
Oh no, yeah.
It's,
Well, right house.
looking at your results, I think you lost every single home meeting, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I couldn't ride right house for Toffee before the season started.
Yeah, I did
And
notice.
yeah, and I didn't want it, but then I've said that about tracks before, and then I've just thought, well, it's got to be the track, so I may as well just get my head down and just do it, and did the best I could. Could have done better. There was that. But yeah, I got a better understanding and can race right house better than I could. So it's whilst it's been disappointing, there is positive to take from it, and that whether it's individually as a team or you know.
Well, fair play to you for sticking it out under extreme circumstances.
Yeah, I wouldn't change it either. So it's all part and parcel of the game sometimes.
Yeah, totally agree. So we're just looking at the result that obviously you're proud of, the Pinemen and Warriors. In terms of team changes that you had, I think you had only 2 in. Let's see on the screen. Let's see, you had Badger and GPR out, and then the Smiler and Pompey coming in. The decision to bring those 2 in, did it give you like a boost to kind of think, now we've got these team changes in, we can perform and actually get some results? But then of course it didn't really happen, did it?
It didn't happen, but definitely it was like getting the Smiler in for Badger was kind of it was like a like for like in a way. And we actually did all right there. I guess you could say one of the issues we had was the bottom end. So when Grant obviously left, it was it was always known you'd get someone, but who, and trying to find who. And thankfully, Pompey was ready. And well, I wouldn't say ready, but he was very willing to step in when I told him basically the minimum match count and what was needed to do, and he was happy to do it. And I knew we get some points, and yeah, he put some points in and tried his best. And I think once changes were made for whatever reason was it actually helped us be a bit more competitive and more in it than we might have been before. So,
Yeah.
but if you told me at the start of the season, found out that I'd have Badger and Grant in the same team, I would have said no. Then they got on in the team, they did, and then they both left. So, I had it all this season.
Wow. Yeah. But out of the riders that you had in your team this year, who stood up for you the most?
Or
I got you thinking, haven't I?
I would.
Facts. The only one who raised his average.
Yeah, Frax, because he did try, because he's been trying for 3 seasons now to improve his average, which he's now managed to do, because he wanted it above 5, and for 3 seasons he's not been able to do it, and now he's done it. And also Heppel, whilst his average went down, what I didn't realise until he actually told me the other week was this is the most he's actually ridden, whether it's meetings or rides being given and that. He's never ridden so much, and he's loved it when he's ridden. So can't really, I mean, Cam, he, loves to train, and that's a great trait. So yeah, and obviously Craig, it's Craig, no words needed. So.
Well, I mean, I know that Cam is in the chat. I just want to say, I know we had it last week, but Cam with that 21-point maximum last week, I don't think has ever been done in league racing in STS. So there's a massive congratulations to Cam for that. I say for a 21 maximum, that's unheard of. So congrats to Cam for that.
I wish he scored a few of those when he guested for us at Birmingham. we might have won the meeting.
Yeah. But Tank, like you've just mentioned, you're not going to be returning as a captain next season. But you'll still be within the game, won't you, in season 20?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh no, there's no way I can walk away. I mean, if I walked away, I think I'd lose my right arm. So.
And some of the committee would have to do some work.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, they do enough. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
enough.
Yeah, just enough. Anyway, chaps, we're gonna move swiftly on. We're gonna bring in our first break for the show. When we come back after our break, we're gonna look into the BGP and SCS previews of the final round in Victorville. Look at our second team review, which will be the Panthers, and then the information about next week's upcoming World Championships. So stick around, guys. See you in a couple minutes. And welcome back to All Four Back, episode 48, with myself, Chester, Hads, Shads, and Tank. We're going to move swiftly on to the previews of the upcoming final round of the BGP and SCS final round in Victorville. Now, Hads, I do believe you have a bit of news regarding the replacements for both of these. Can you enlighten that for us?
Yeah. Well, the Scotty B is unavailable for the GP, so we're still waiting to confirm who that's going to be. Hopefully, within the next few hours or so, we'll know who is racing there at number 15 in the GP. And we're waiting for Craig to confirm as well, I believe. The SCS, Pompey and Heppel are both unavailable. There's already a few replacements. Alan McNally's in. Also, Westy Boy and Lango are in again, as they're always available for these meetings. But there's going to be at least two spots here. Super Dip will be in one of the meetings, depending on whoever else is available. But there's a bit of I'd say breaking news. I hear somebody's been doing a bit of training and downloaded the game. So if a spot does become available, Mr. Winchester, would you like to make your SCS debut on Sunday?
I knew that was coming. If the spot's there, mate, count me in for damn sure. Absolutely. I've been buzzing to get back on it, mate. I mean, I know a lot of people have been surprised. I've been holding off for many weeks. But yeah, I'll be in for the SCS Sunday just in case.
Yeah,
and
that's-
I'll be in.
also Dan, and also we were practicing last night. Wolfie, Dan, who else was in there? Dan, do you remember?
It was me,
Adam,
you,
Adam was in there, and Dan, and the
Scunny.
geezer from Scunthorpe. That's it. And you look pretty handy.
Mm.
So I don't think you should turn this opportunity down.
Well, I'm not. I'm going to be in the SCS chat on Sunday, and if a spot comes up, then by all means, just stick me in the
Wow.
program.
It's
Stick me in the
breaking
program.
news.
Yeah,
Wow.
bit of breaking news.
and as Parry says as well, sign up for the World Championships while you're at it.
I'm looking at
Just
Tanks.
to
Tanks. Looking at my bingo card. I don't have chest of anything being in SCS on it. Damn it! There goes my bingo.
Dan, are you free on Sunday?
Well, in the evening, yes.
What about daytime for practicing?
That would mean mentioning something that's on Tank's bingo card. So I'm not going to say it.
Damn it. I was trying to lead you into it. But you're too clever. You've sussed it out now, haven't you?
Yes.
You've sussed
Good
it out
swerve.
now.
Good swerve.
I have. Yes.
Damn
yes.
it. I tried my best there. Sorry, lads. Sorry, Tank.
But yes, in the afternoon I won't be around, but in the evening I sort of will be. Depending on what time. So I'll yeah. I'll be around if someone opens up.
Excellent.
So yeah, going back to the BGP, of course this one's not actually set in stone yet. There's still one more meeting yet to go. We're just looking at the BGP program at the moment. Had you're in this one again, mate, if I can bring you in first of all. It's been a bit of a disappointing season for you. But I mean you've hung in there for the entire 7 rounds. Victorville is going to be a leveler. That's for damn sure, isn't it? It's going to be a leveler.
Yeah, it's a. Is it a fun little track? Maybe. Obviously, it's a typical American style track.
Yeah.
Nice and short inside. So we'll see what happens. Practice was actually pretty decent when I done a few laps the other day. A few people on different bikes as well. But the one thing that I did notice, and I've heard a few people say, is about the white line. You do a couple of laps and the white line disappears off the inside. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
what happens there. But
Well, I was speaking to Wolfie and he said that he's had to turn down his the line the
skid mark.
the line density.
Side tracks,
Yeah.
yeah, but is that if you're in somebody else's server, that doesn't matter, does it? Surely, a lot on the day, it's down to the server, surely. Is that right?
I don't know if I don't know if he was doing it individually. You could be right. Well, Powers is saying nope.
Harry says no.
Oh, so you can do it yourself. I don't know. I'm no good with this kind of thing.
I think Harry said he turned his right down and it still didn't make much difference.
I've just read Tank's comment in the chat there. Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah.
I qualified through the meeting at the start of the season, so I'll turn up every round, whether I score 0, 1, 2, 3. I'll be there, just keep drawing away and trying to upset somebody, shall we say, or not, like, get a few points.
Well, you haven't scored a 0, like a full-on 5-ride 0, so you've been consistently scoring.
That's where you won, because I have.
I think he has.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you've scored all season.
I haven't.
No.
Because I remember it very well, because I went out until about 6 o'clock on the Sunday. Had, shall we say, one too many sherbets and turned up and... yeah.
Oh, dear.
I couldn't get any worse, really, could I? I mean, come on.
Oh,
all credit for you for not using that excuse on the night.
But I still turned up, so there we go.
I was saying it was more than one.
Oh, Scotty, I like that one. That is good. I like
Hadlington with 4 zeros.
that is good.
Dear.
Yeah.
All about getting a race win this week. Get that first
Mm.
race win on the board.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
sure.
see,
I'm
let's
sure
see.
you. I'm sure you will have.
What's the heat? Well, it won't be in heat 8.
Oh yeah, Heat 8. Stephen
It
Craig
won't be in heat
Powerson.
8.
Oh,
It
wow.
won't be in heat 17.
Mm.
Where else? Possibly heat 14, maybe. Or definitely heat 11.
Inside,
Yeah,
possibly.
if you don't win
Yeah.
Heat 11, there's something wrong with you, mate.
Nah, they have good riders still, don't they? I mean,
Yeah.
JC, especially around them kind of tracks as well. It's going to be Heat 2. Heat 2 is going to be the one. Oh, there you go.
I think in heat 17, Scotty, Scrawl and Toretto should just give you the win, just to give you your one win. If neither of them can make the semi, I think it's only fair.
Well,
Yeah.
never mind. We'll see what
I know
happens.
Capesy said he's happy to give up his points for you. And he told me that earlier.
Tank has Tank's made a good point in the chat. He's put Steph and Craig go head to head battling. Power's trying to get past Craig and Had, sails through or the grass. LOL.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Oh wow. So we're going to look at the table for the BGP. Of course, it's a lot closer in terms of positioning. Up the top there, it's looking very, very close. Of course, the top 8. Still, Toretto, I think mathematically now has 8th place center, of course, with the unavailability of Scotty B, unfortunately. So Toretto is mathematically guaranteed. I think that top 8 is set as it is. But I think the top 2 is going to be, one to look out for. Dreadlock can catch him. You don't know.
And
Of course, again, yes, 10 points.
he's
Yes, but then
also Toretto's been giving hints that he's not going to be racing next season. Whether he meant it or not, I don't know. But that's the word. That's the word on the street.
what's that? I missed
So
that.
you're looking at top 9.
Yeah. So looking at so Scotty B at 10 points for Dreadlock's car can potentially, still very, very close. Hobnob saying Tank, you're going to score 21. Tank's going to score 21 points on Sunday.
Is that for the whole series or just the one round?
No, that's me.
I would.
No, it's 23 actually. So.
Oh yeah, it's round 5. We didn't score a point. Ah, I see.
Yeah. See it?
Yeah, I just noticed it now. So I mean, looking at this table, I'm gonna say their top 3 pretty much set in stone. Mind you, Bobby will have something else to say about it. He's only 4 points behind 101.
Bobby's not riding, is he? Is Bobby riding?
I know Scotty's not riding.
Bobby's available, yeah.
Bobby's in.
So.
Yeah.
Bobby's available.
Bobby's in. It's just Scotty's not. I always get those 2 mixed up for some reason. Don't know why. But I guess for you, Hads, it's a case of just get the season done with, really, isn't it?
Absolutely correct.
No SCS for you next year, then, bro?
I don't know, because the last 3 years I've qualified for the GPs for that meeting. Unlike some people who was throwing races and mentioning no names, Badger. So,
that's if we have an SCS next season. If you have enough riders to ride in 2 meetings.
Well, this is it. I mean, going on we'll see later on, going on the World Championship sign-ups, it's not looking good, really, is it?
I mean, you're looking at 32 riders every week. It's every round. It's going to be difficult.
Badger's just random. He doesn't throw anything, says Scotty B. Give some S20 info and get more people interested, says Power. So I'm sure we'll have that in the not too distant future, pal. So do stick around for that one. So yeah, that was the BGP. We're now going to look on to the SDS draw, also which takes place the same night as the BGP. And of course, you heard all the changes taking place, potentially. Shad, during this meeting, my friend, what what race stands out for you the most in this one? Because of course, we do have Mackinnon, but obviously he's way out in front. He can't be caught. So it's all about the next sort of positions on the spread on the table. So Shad, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, there's nothing really riding on this, is there? Really, I mean, you got. Is it Cappy missing this one? So
Yeah,
could potentially get into second place. So I suppose bragging rights for Wolfie. I can't finish any higher than fourth. I suppose getting into the top 11 for next season, but then will there be an SDS? So what's the incentive? It's just a pretty nothing meeting, really, isn't it? Really. Sorry to be a bit of a I suppose.
Yeah, but
really
I think it was this season. Didn't Tank finish fourth and get promoted when Ads dropped out? So that
well, I'm going to
happen.
have to make sure that Ben Thompson scores more points than me then. I don't want. If last Sunday's Riders Championship anything to go by, I do not want to be in the GPs next season.
Oh dear. Finally back in the
although if I did miraculously get the call up, I wouldn't say no. But
yeah,
I've had said this year it's not been great fun, has it, mate?
Not at all.
No.
Well, I think for me, the one person I'm looking forward to seeing if he can keep the momentum up would be Cam. Obviously, he's come off that 21 point maximum in his last league round, so he's on form. And when he's out front, I mean, you saw when he got that 21 pointer, he was unbeatable. So if he can keep that form going, he could be a spoiler in this meeting. Definitely, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think Skyboard is the same though.
Yeah, you got your regulars, your Sky Riders, your Ben Thompsons, Big Slow Caney, Mackinnon. He'll be looking to sign off on the season. Power said Cam top 3 if he was available to make all the rounds. Yep, wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he and also 17 the last SCS round. So Cam is a man on form.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But has Mackinnon only won one round this season?
Yes.
When
he won,
right?
When he won, I think
the last round.
Yeah, when he won, that was his first win. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just don't know. Anything is possible. I mean, he won the championship by street, and he only won one round.
Yeah, but he was scoring consistently, which was the thing.
Exactly,
he was scoring consistently through. Yeah, scoring consistently.
I think to me,
nice to see a different name up there winning it though.
I think one of the best heats is actually the first heat here. I think
Mackinnon, Caney, Lango, and Shads
going on like form throughout the season. I know Caney just struggled like a bit this season, but when he rode against us in the last meeting, he got double figures. Lango's been scoring for fun this season, obviously. And obviously,
Caney did get his mojo back as well after that. He rode in the last meeting of the season. He was terrific in our last meeting after he missed a few.
Yeah.
Got to be saying Lango could win, good form.
Yes, and like Harris said, he does like a small track with the inside line.
Technical track, yeah. Sky Rider saying hopefully they run it next season. I know it's hard to get riders sometimes, but it's good as a developmental series too. It helped progress a lot of riders, in my opinion.
There will be some sort of system, maybe not the SCS, but based on it, But for the riders that aren't riding in the GP, there's got to be something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's definitely got to be in some capacity.
Like I said in our chat, if you've only got one competition in riders, got like mid-30s riders in the league, you can't have a GP on a standalone week. You have to have a league meeting in the week after that. Then you've got people sitting about for 2 weeks doing nothing. You've seen the trouble that's caused this year with teams going like 3 weeks without a meeting, 6 weeks without a home meeting. It's just not on for me. I'm not gonna sign up for the season until I see the format.
Yeah. Well, it's everyone's to their own there. Chaz, I completely agree. You know, Hobnob saying it needs
I've
to
got
be
no
a
interest in sit. I'm not going to no interest sitting on my ass for 3 weeks not racing.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. So looking at bingo card, note Gaffin Fiction not there either. Shocker tonight, taking his bingo card. So we're going to quick look at the table, the heading into this final round. Of course, see there on the top, Mackinnon pretty much clear out in front, consistent scoring all season. Wolfie, he should score more than 7 points to overhaul Cappy and finish second. He should do, without a doubt. But it's very close between.
He looked pretty good in practice last night, as well, didn't he?
Yeah. It's crazy that Bewitcher's still fifth and he's only ridden 4 times. Absolutely crazy. And even Big Slow Caney even only rode 3 times, but now he's coming into the final round. So, you know, and of course Dip's not riding. I guess Thrax riding?
Dip may be riding. We're not sure yet.
Yeah. Dip may be riding. So yeah, go on, Hads.
But you think that if you look at those top qualifying positions, you got Westy Boy, Lango, obviously you got Dip as well. All those are not regular riders. There are people who's made themselves available, knowing there's going to be dropouts, and they've just rid in every round basically. And looks like 2 or 3 of them will pick up enough points to qualify for next year if there is a series. So you turn up and you got a chance, ain't you?
Absolutely. It's got to be saying Mac will be in there, Sky, and then BW was proper committed for 2 months, and then sort of the face of the earth said Powers. Oh dear.
Well, that's more than the 2 weeks we got out of Crook.
That's for sure. Yeah. Tank saying Houdini himself. Lango saying he loved the SCS this year. It's been a great addition. Obviously for the next level.
Say it, the lesser riders.
No, I'm saying that. No, you've all been good. It's me who should be saying that about me on Sunday. Yeah. Crazy.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
It's all right, mate. It's all right. Giving it my best shot. Hopefully, I get a slot in. Then we find it's going to be flipping live streamed. It's like the first one back. That'd be funny.
A live stream. What's that?
Yes, there's not been many this year. We have to get the media team together and see what we can do. See if we can do some more next season, hopefully.
It's just getting people to screen share. That's the issue.
Yeah.
There's no problem getting the commentators.
Yeah. Wish we could do a vote for tracks. We don't get a crap one every week, says Sky. Yeah, that's a potential. You know, well, it's an idea, and there are a lot of ideas coming to the table. But yeah, we'll soon see if we get any more season 20 info. In regards to next season. And with that, we're going to switch on to our second team review of the night. And with that, we hand over to Hadlington. I believe he has Cape C with him, so stand by, Cape C. This is the review of the Plymouth Panthers. Hads, over to you.
Yeah, so the Panthers, Cape C brought the Panthers to the Types this season, finishing in 6th position. 2 home wins and an away win and an away draw. Good end to the season, winning the last two matches. But when I was looking at the stats earlier, we'll go over this with Capesy shortly. They actually used 10 riders throughout the season and 11 guests and 4 rider replacements. I mean, so that's how hard it's been for Capesy to track a full team this year. To be fair, so fair play for sticking it throughout the season. I mean, the first match after the first match, Barney went AWOL. Crook came in for him, and then obviously he didn't last long, and Limo did eventually come in for him as well. Then Shads came in the middle of that for chatting as well. But we'll bring in Mr. Capesy, if you are there with us, Mr. Capes.
Good evening, lads.
Good evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Thank you.
It's like, it's our team now, Christ.
Now the season's over, you can relax.
Yeah,
No,
well,
mate.
fair play. First of all, fair play for you to sticking it out, to be honest, because a lot of people wouldn't have.
No,
especially
I made the commitment, so I was like, I can't just let these guys down either, so might as well crack on with it and try my best.
Yeah, fair play for doing that and sticking with it. But I'm gonna go through your first win of the season when you won against the Warriors at home.
You don't realise how excited I was about this one.
Obviously, I know Shad's rode in this one, but he was a guest in this one. I mean, but it was like one of the first times as well that you'd actually track log near enough a full team as well. And obviously, you know, you still had Kanye at number 1 at this point. But I mean, how hard was it? Obviously, being able to do the guests and that. I mean, but how after all the changes before this, I mean, how pleasing was it to actually finally get that first win with the Panthers?
It felt like pressure lifting off your shoulders. That's the first win. I was like, yes, get in. It's done. Finally made it. Like, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, sort of team changes were happening. I couldn't help but have to make them. The old purple dinosaur lasted a week and decided that he didn't want to race anymore. But yeah, it's part and parcel, and it? It's a bit like running your own speedway team in real life.
Yeah. Obviously, that
without having to pay out the money.
Yeah. Didn't you get your pay slip, Shads?
Yeah, there was a lot of deductions on there. What was all that about? 20 hot dogs.
That's because
I only had 18.
well, I've decided to have 2 as well, so thought I'd put it on yours.
Yeah, it's a good job we didn't have to rely on this for making a living, because I would have been broke.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh dear me. Is the purple suit gone back in the shed now? Then
the purple suit. Hopefully, I never see that again. I always watched Barney growing up as well, and now I feel like it was a waste.
Oh dear. Obviously, though, that as Paris has said in the chat just above, that this was actually like a proper all-round team performance. There, if you look at all the bonus points, and you only had a couple of 2 or 3 last places in this meeting as well. I mean, and that was like,
we all got either a heat win or paid for a heat win, so it's that sort of situation. You go and this is a team that's going in the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we know what it's like getting that first win, got that bit of a get the monkey off your back, so to speak. But then you had to draw further on down the season. You actually got a draw against the Wolves. I mean, that must have been pretty pleasing to get a result away from home as well.
It was, but I was kicking myself because I had probably the worst meeting that I've had this season. And it was one of the heats where I think I was probably second. I've made that one stupid mistake and it's gifted them like the second place.
Yeah.
And if I'd stayed second, we would have won the meeting.
Yeah.
And
I think that was the meeting you got us. You got a first place and then a last and
I
like
just
first
went
place in the middle of the
backwards.
last places.
Yeah. It's one of them. 1 minute, like, I'm not saying that I'm great. I'm not saying I'm Stefan, Powers, Craig, that standard at all. But when I'm actually focused and racing well, I could get double figures. But I just lose concentration for like 2-3 minutes, and then I'm like, oh, I've still got a race. So my head's already gone. So it's hobnob. One stupid mistake.
We talked about the guests. We talked about the guests. I mean, to be fair, I was looking through your guest scores earlier on, and to be fair, obviously you had 2 guests in that one when you drawed at the Wolves, and then later on you had Cappy and Squall guesting when you beat the Warriors away from home, and also Lango when you beat the Pieman in the last one. I mean, you seem to pick the guests pretty well, to be fair, this season.
I don't think there was many other riders I could have used, if I'm honest. I think I used everyone. But no, it was more, I had to wait to see as well which teams were racing and on what nights. And then I spoke to the team about who do you think would be better. And the guests just clicked all the time for us, and I can't thank them enough. But yeah, I don't really want to look at these averages. Can someone take them off, please?
Fair play. They all tried. They all tried anyway, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
No one really let us down.
They chipped in, and it helped us massively.
Yeah, obviously, with them team changes, I mean, you brought in Shads, and then you brought in Lima.
That was a stupid move, bringing in Shads. Oh, who thought of that idea?
I was your cheerleader for a little while, wasn't I?
You did. You look good in the outfit.
I was waiting for someone to ask me.
And
so that too was in the purple dinosaur outfit then.
Yeah, it weren't. It weren't the bloke from Poland. Trust me.
No. You noticed that as soon as I got on the track.
As you see there, obviously the 2 who came in there, Limo and Shads, they actually the top 2 in the averages, and obviously rode in the BLRC last week. How much of a difference was it like to have them in the team and be there regularly?
Massive help. Having, and from the start, obviously a few people were saying Barney was going to be like the bee's knees, and I was like, yeah, I'm proper. All right, I've never really rode with a bloke, but let's hope he does well. First meeting, he done all right, and then because he wasn't available because he had a Polish meeting, I said to him, well, it's up to you. Do you want to focus on that or do ours as well? And he went, no, Poland. So I found a guest. Cutting long story short, he then decided to go, well, I'm not racing then. You found facility for me. See you later. Bye. That's great. Thanks.
That's not good. Especially after the first meeting as well. Yeah.
And Limo come in. I tried Limo before, probably before I'd signed Crook. And he was like, because it's the summer, he was busy. And then as it got further towards the end of the season, I was like, please sign, like, just help me out. And he was like, yeah, I'll sign on. Shads was one of the first choices to come in anyway, as he was there, been in our server a few times, guested for us.
The one in the pool who was available.
And that one. But guested a few times, helped us out massively, stayed in the team chat, jumping in servers, and genuinely was our biggest cheerleader to start the season off and become our second highest average rider.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thanks, Shads. Much love.
Oh, thank you very much. No, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. Even those 2 wins over the Warriors, great fun.
Yeah, and the last win as well was even better. Finishing the season on
Yeah.
2 wins, brilliant
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. Especially what
Yeah,
you can do.
obviously that must.
Caney was on it as well. So
Yeah, which is nice to
That
see.
helped.
Like finishing the
That
season strong, but if you look at our finishing averages, building a team for next year,
Yeah.
I don't think
If you look at,
I could have possibly 2 back, 2, 3 back.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've done myself any favours with that average.
Don't worry, expect a message if you sign on.
I should have done what a lot of the other riders did and lower it towards the end of the season.
I lowered mine from halfway through.
Wow.
I'm joking. I
That
did not.
That wasn't intentional though.
No. I just had a crap second half of the season.
Yeah.
But, hey,
So from what you're saying there, Capes, is that you're bringing back the Panthers as a captain next season, but will you be at Plymouth again?
Plymouth can, like Mark Phillips tried to do, I'll burn a bloody thing down.
Oh, mate, I completely agree. I completely agree. But I think it's your first season as captain. I mean, I know the results.
I've done it before, but yeah.
Yeah, but as I say, obviously it wasn't the greatest of seasons for you this year. But just in a few words, just sum up how you found it.
In a few words, I'm not
Yeah.
allowed to swear, am I?
No, well,
it's after 9 o'clock. You're all right now.
Oh yeah, that's all right then. No, generally it's been great. Obviously, different side of it. I get what Tank was saying earlier about average captains last 2-3 years. I can understand why. Teams are already being built for next season, so again, you got to get out there, try and build your team. But yeah, not been bad. I've enjoyed being in the GP. That's a different aspect to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, can't complain. Better work because I get to finish earlier and I'm around more. Winchester, how's work going?
No comment.
I think Casey, I think you'll find captains a lot easier when you've got a team that's near the top of the league. Everyone seems to want to ride. You don't have very many availability issues.
No.
When you're towards the middle or the bottom, that's when you have the issues.
Yeah, 100%. But again, as well as that, we all have lives, don't we?
Yeah.
And if people start taking it too seriously, it's a game at the end of the day, a game that we all enjoy. So treat it as a game. It's not life or death. Bigger things going on in this world to deal with.
Yeah, I don't recall many of us sort of like when we lost meetings. I mean, we got battered at a couple of places, but I don't recall anyone being downhearted. We just sort of like, oh well, that was it.
Got on with it.
Yeah.
It's we went again the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however, or the 6 weeks that we didn't have at home.
We didn't have any troublemakers in the side, did we? No prima donnas. It was just like,
I don't know. You kicked up a bit of a fuss sometimes.
Did I? Yeah, because you put me in the team, because you kept putting me in the lineup when I wanted to have a week off.
Yeah, that's because there weren't many people around, mate.
No, I had to ride. I had no choice.
Yeah. It was either ride or not get your paycheck.
Yeah.
Not get your paycheck. Oh, brilliant.
But yeah, it's been a great season.
And so I guess roll on season 20.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have some information about that in the coming episodes. But Capes, has been great having you on board. Really do appreciate it, and thanks for popping in as always. Been a great.
Enjoy your rest of the evening, guys, and obviously I probably won't talk to you before, but have a good Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, you too, Capes.
All right, see you in a bit, lads.
Take it easy, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Later, bye.
Bye. And it's always great having Capesy on. He's definitely one of the good guys.
Nice fella. Nice.
Oh,
fella.
yes. Now we're gonna go on to our final bit of the show. World Championship information. Tank, I believe this is yours. So it is all yours, my good sir. What can you tell us?
Well, obviously, as you can see, the semi-finals will be on the week commencing the 8th of December. So, obviously, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, obviously at Lonigo, hoping for 2 semi-finals, which we should get, and then obviously the final will be obviously on Sunday the 15th of December. Obviously, to sign up for the qualifiers has to be in by 6 o'clock next Friday. And then the draws for the semi-finals will take place on the podcast. And obviously, we'll know based on availability, because there is a couple of riders who haven't filled in the availability form. And obviously, it'll be on a Sunday and one day during the week. So, which usually tends to be about Tuesday or Wednesday. It tends to be the day other than a Sunday. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone that's signed up so far, and we've got 15. Although I have seen we now have 16 riders because Baz has now signed up, so we have 16. So we just need another 16 for a second qualifier.
Oof. So, do you think we'll get it?
I think so. It can sometimes it goes either way. Sometimes sign-ups are quick and sometimes they're slow, and it will always do the reverse and that. So we've been sort of getting quite a few in straight away, and then it may fall off, but then it might, it comes back and forth really. So, but yeah, I think we'll definitely get there eventually, or we'll be pretty close. But we'll.
So if you only get 16 riders, and that's pretty much, I think, the weakest ever World Championship lineup I think there's ever been.
Maybe, but then
Looks it, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean, I say there's 16 and that. There's meant to be 17 because you're signing up, aren't you?
You had to spoil it, didn't you?
Oh yeah. I know.
I was gonna make it as breaking news, but see how Sunday goes in the SCS if I do get in. But my name will be on that World Championship sheet in the not too distant future. I will be signing up for the World Champs.
Nice.
You heard it here first, ladies and gents.
Yeah, Powis has got a good question though there in the chat. If there's only enough for one semi, what track is it on?
Wouldn't both semis be on the same track?
Well,
No,
they won't have a semi. There won't be a
if
semi.
there's only enough for one, it's just a final. What track would it be on? Is it just like?
I think if there was only enough for one, well, this is purely off the top of my head. I would say it would have to be the final track, which is at Vastavik.
Yeah.
Because
So obviously, I'll put.
You wouldn't want to be doing the qualifier for a final.
Yeah.
Would be my take on it.
But if it's Vastavik, get JC's name on there already.
Yeah. Well, Cam said he'll sign up soon. So that's another one.
And Sizzler.
It's also nice to see David Nofia there on there as well, who hasn't rode this season.
Potentially could have Jan signing up as well because he's trying to get access to the forum.
Yeah, I know there's a couple more.
Someone mentioned David No Fear.
Yeah.
Did someone mention David No Fear's looking to come back?
Yeah. I think we had Hollows as well, didn't we? Last
Hollows,
week in a couple of
yeah,
servers as well, and
there's another one.
Still quite a few still to sign up. So
I don't see Rico's name in there. He usually signs up for these things. Yeah, there's a lot of names missing, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Is Ryan on there? Ryan's not on
Nope.
there, is he? No.
Ryan, Craig, he's not there.
Soretto's
No.
not there.
Cam's saying he's going to give his old man a nudge.
Yeah, give him a nudge. Didn't he win this back in the early days, Rico? I think he won the World Championship once.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
4 or 5, something like that. I'm
pretty
sure he
early
did.
on, I think.
Wow. Yeah, he still goes on about it whenever I say I'm better than him. Don't knock him off his chair, though, says Powis.
No, this is though. I've made it's like yourself, Dan. It's a good opportunity for people to come back and get some competitive laps in a meeting type situation. Just
Yeah,
if there is enough for 2 semis.
yeah, but I'll see how Sunday goes, and then go from there. So, not here just make up the numbers now. So, only
Good
time
man.
will tell. Only time will tell.
Yeah. So if you do know anybody who wants to come back and get some laps in, then just get them on the sign up, and we'll see what we can do and help them download the game, etc., and see if we can get a few more.
Well, I'm sure we will. I think we'll get to 32. So I reckon this will be
Well,
irrelevant.
I'm not available, so count me out.
Limo's made a good point there. Even if we only get to 24,
32.
could do 2 12-man semi-finals with top 8 going through. Could that work?
Mhm.
I'd imagine so.
I'd have a
The only
different
thing with
idea if that
a
was
with a
me.
12-man is you don't face every rider, do you? And you don't face every rider in those.
Not the 12-man
But still,
SS, though. For God's sake, says Powis.
No,
but
if
the thing is
personally,
with these competitions, when you've got like 2 no riders, say 2 no riders out of 16, you're going to get a heat like you did with one of the SCS rounds, where you only got 2 riders in a heat, and it really skews the points. One of those riders gets 3 points, he could straight into a semi-final, like Wolfie did when
Yeah.
he rode it. It just makes it unfair. I'd rather have a 12 rider meeting than have a 16 rider meeting with 2-3 no riders. But then someone's going to end up in a 2 rider race. You could even, if you got 3 no riders, you could even get someone getting a lucky draw and getting a 1 rider race and getting an easy 3 points.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem fair to me.
I mean, if that
It's
was
different
me,
when it's different on the night when people don't turn up and you've got no other choice. But if you're knowingly going into a competition like this, the World Championship, knowing there's going to be 3 no riders, I don't think that's right.
Powis has got a good idea. 4 no riders. Stick them in heat 4 at 13 to 16.
yeah,
That's what we do in Circle Speedway. We have like if there's
good shout.
yeah. Sorry, Sad, continue.
That sort of have the pre-draw and just have them as the numbers that are going to be in that race, and just everyone else draws out after that.
Yeah.
I think if it was me and there was only 24, I'd be, without sounding like biased to the top guys, see the top 8 average riders who sign up and have a qualifier with it, and the next 8 going through.
Would the two semi-finals be on the same night?
No,
Depends on availability.
Mm.
the one's Sunday, one's in the week, isn't it? But
Yeah.
if it was like 24,
Scotty B saying no, you can't seed.
well, to be fair, I'd rather see them ride that 12 rider individual format, because you don't ride everybody.
No.
And it's a bit, it's one of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that there'll be some information in the not too distant future. Of course, we've got a long way still to go for sign-ups. So Sunday 8th is for qualifier 1. The other on the next best available date is Monday to Thursday. So
Well, I'll just sign up and say I can't ride in the first one.
Any season 20 news coming soon, Sizzler?
Yes, we've got news. Says Warriors are kaput. Stephen's not being a skipper next year.
Yeah,
that's the only news we've got so far. And Dan signing up for the league next season.
I didn't say league.
No, I just said it.
I just said S. I just said SCS.
Okay.
Dan to Cowboys.
We'll see.
Norsk.
Or Norsk. Chester skipper. No, not a chance, Scotty. Not a chance, mate.
Why not?
You can ride a Plymouth.
I wouldn't ride that
Oh,
place.
as I was trying to get him to say it,
What?
trying to catch him out.
Wouldn't ride that place, God forbid. Yeah. But
Exeter?
no, I can't ride that place either. I think my
No.
best meeting was Oxford season 3. I had a 15-point max in a challenge match. So Oxford was my best track season 3, but I haven't ridden since then, so who knows? But anyway, with that being said, I think we can now wrap up tonight's show. Unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about very quickly.
Hashtag sign down Winchester.
Oh dear me. There was no ride of the week this week, Sis. Unfortunately. We obviously had the reserves, the track reviews of the Warriors. Shambles.
There was only one meeting, so it wasn't really there to pick one. We don't have to give it to Stefan. No one wants to see that.
Sis saying this pod's a joke. Oh dear. Brilliant. Well, with that being said, chaps, we're going to wrap up tonight's show. Of course, got the SCS coming up on Sunday, or the BGP and SCS coming up on Sunday.
Just in time for the cricket.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I will say a good night to Tank.
Good night.
A good night to Shads.
Good night, fellas.
A good night to Hads.
And good night, all.
And I will say good night from me, Chester 430. Podcast will be dropping tomorrow at 8 p.m. on YouTube, so you can catch up for all the news we've had. And we'll see you back here next week for episode 49 of All Four Back. Getting close to season end and the big 5-0. So until then, we'll catch you all next week. Take it easy.